Hello again, BIO100, and welcome to the lab portion of this week's module. There are three main components of the lab portion this week. First of all, we have a quiz like we've been doing that's focused on previous week's material to help you make sure you retain that information for future use. We also have group meetings this week. So this is one of the weeks where you'll need to communicate with your group, find a time slot within our normally scheduled class time that you can then sign up for a 15-minute time slot with your group so you can meet with me through Zoom so we can discuss any questions or concerns that you have and also just check in with each other for reals in real time instead of me just talking to you through my computer. And then the main thing we're doing in the module this week is creating a final version of your results narrative based on the drafts and peer reviews that you received from the end of the lecture portion of the module. And so the reason why we're doing it this way, where you're doing a draft and then getting peer reviews and then revising and turning in a final version, is because that's very representative of how the overall scientific writing process works. So when I'm writing things for grant proposals or for publications, for papers, I never turn in the first thing that I write. The first thing that I write is honestly usually not very good. It's important to get all of your thoughts down on paper, but it's also really, really important to let other people look at it and receive feedback from them, because they'll always catch things that you'll miss because you're so focused on writing what you're writing and you have it in your head, and sometimes what's in your head might not actually be coming out on paper. And so getting someone else to look at it and give you their feedback allows you to recognize those gaps that you may have missed when you were writing your draft. So that's why we're doing it this way, where you're writing a draft, getting feedback, and then based on that feedback you receive, you're adjusting, making adjustments as needed, and then turning in a final version of your results narrative. Again, this is all focused on the fish egg data analysis we've done. So that final results narrative you're turning in for the main lab activity this week is going to include your written results narrative describing the results of your fish egg analysis. It's also going to include that bar graph that you created, as well as a caption that you've written to describe what's shown in the bar graph. So the peer reviews you're going to get are going to be related to both the written part, the narrative, as well as the part you wrote for the figure caption. So again, we are having you do this to have you gain some familiarity with this overall writing process. Please keep in mind that if you get feedback on your writing, it doesn't mean your writing is bad. Again, this is how everyone does it. When I turn in drafts to have other people look at them, they always come back covered in red, covered in comments. So that's not a bad thing. Please don't think if people give you suggestions that's bad, those suggestions are going to be really helpful for you. So also when you're writing these peer reviews, make sure you're being honest and trying to think about how you can really help the person whose draft you're reviewing. So those are the main things we're doing this week. It's a little bit different for the activity because we're not doing hands-on data analysis or anything, but the main thing we're doing is just taking that draft you already turned in and revising it and turning in your final version. So just like always, if you have questions, comments, concerns, let us know. Again, I hope you are doing well and hanging in there at this point of the semester. I know you might have exams right now or might be overwhelmed with things, but hopefully you're able to take things one thing at a time, one day at a time, and it'll all be okay. We can do it. It'll all be fine. I promise. Okay, let us know if you need anything, and I will see you soon.